در قسمت‌های پیشین.
Whoa. Who builds a fortified compound in the middle of the jungle? The evidence for Hitler landing in Argentina is very strong. Bariloche is the Berlin of Argentina.
This place is isolated, it's remote, there's no access. It was protected from the rest of the world.
This house is flashing red.
There's another structure back here.
That looks to me to be a vent. There has to be some hidden bunker there.
It looks like rubble down there.
رد پای هیتلر.
The only thing an event like that is for a bunker. And why would you destroy a bunker on a piece of property unless you had something very important to hide?
باب برگ، یکی از کارشناسان CIA با سابقه 21 ساله، و جان سنسیچ، محقق جنایات جنگی، یافته‌های گروه را در باریلوچه آرژانتین مرور می‌کنند. به گفته مدارک افشا شده، هیتلر 2 ماه و نیم بعد از اعلام مرگش در آنجا در یک ساختمان دورافتاده موسوم به خانه اینالکو اقامت داشته است.
German-owned estate, a Nazi, a collapsed bunker. This house has got red flags all over it.
I agree. One could say the fact that this bunker has been demolished, that's frustrating. But I find it very invigorating, because when somebody is trying to erase something, it means that I'm onto something.
همه مدارک به خانه اینالکو به عنوان محل اختفای هیتلر اشاره دارند. در نتیجه باب به تحقیقات ادامه میدهد.
Hitler, if he in fact got to Bariloche, was going to say, all right, it's time to move out, to move somewhere else. He's a fugitive. You don't want to stay in the same place. No matter how secure the house is, he's got to move out.
Where does he go? I think we need to take a look at the other location that he's been placed in northern Argentina.
پیشتر در جریان تحقیقات گروه در گزارشات FBI، سرنخی درباره یک ساختمان اسرارآمیز نازی در اعماق جنگل‌های میسیونز پیدا شد. مکانی که مشخص کردید میتوانست خانه امن برای هیتلر باشد.
It's a secure location, self-sustained. It's in the middle of nowhere with a lot of Nazi paraphernalia.
How do we get Hitler from Bariloche to Misiones? It's 700 miles across rural Argentina.
It's a long way. He's going to need help. He's going to need money. He's going to need provisions.
He would want to recontact with supporters. As a fugitive, it's really hard to disappear for long periods of time. You need people. You cannot do this alone. So he's going to have to depend on local Germans, people who have the money and the local power to build a tried and true support network. Let's go back and look at the databases, the link analysis, find out where his potential support was in Argentina.
گروه با استفاده از نرم افزار ویژه ارتش تحلیل پیوند انجام می‌دهد. نرم افزار صدها صفحه از مدارک FBI را اسکن می‌کند و افراد مظنون را بر پایه فراوانی ارتباطات بر رابطه‌شان با آدولف هیتلر مشخص می‌سازد.
There's Lausen, but that's nothing new.
Yeah, we've already got through him, Lausen.
And then there's Karl Buck.
Who are the Eichhorns? We've got some paper on that, don't we?
That name actually sounds familiar.
باب و جان دهها گزارش را درباره خانواده آیکهورن که در تحلیل پیوندان رسیدند بررسی می‌کنند.
What we have here is an FBI memorandum. It talks about a certain Mrs. Eichhorn, proprietress of the largest spa hotel in La Falda, Argentina. And it goes on to say, even before the Nazis came into power, she placed immediately by cable her entire bank account.
She had some serious money.
A lot of money. And most importantly, if the Fuhrer should at any time get into difficulties, he could always find a safe retreat at La Falda where they had already made the necessary preparations.
This fits the pattern. We're talking about somebody with money, a place where he can stay, and known associate, she was a Nazi.
The Hotel Eden is in La Falda. It's right outside of Cordoba, and it's right dead center in the middle between Bariloche and Misiones.
This is exactly what he would need. Let's get the team into Cordoba.
This is kind of creepy.
تیم کندی، عضو نیروهای ویژه ارتش ایالات متحده، جرارد ویلیامز، خبرنگار محقق و جی پی سروانتس، مأمور ویژه به هتل ایدن که امروز متروک هست میآیند.
Bienvenido al Hotel Eden.
گروه با آریل مانسانی، یک متخصص محلی درباره تاریخچه هتل ارتباط برقرار کرده تا تحقیقات خود را در این باره آغاز کند که آیا ممکن است هتل در مسیر سفر آدولف هیتلر در مرکز آرژانتین مورد استفاده او قرار گرفته یا نه.
What sort of people came here when the hotel was at its height?
Y acá las personalidades que han venido acá apuntaba a las grandes familias de la oligarquía argentina.
A lot of nobles came here. You got dukes that came here. You got presidents that came here. Albert Einstein came here.
Yeah.
Just the best of the best stay here.
It's the jewel in the crown of Argentine hotel.
There would have had to been security measures, ways to keep those people safe. Are you aware of anything planned into the hotel to protect those important people?
The way that everybody always said they protected people here, it was using tunnels.
Do you know where any of those tunnels could be here?
Tenemos una idea de que se ha hablado de los túneles.
They have an idea because people have always talked about the tunnels. The thing is that he cannot tell you exactly right here there's one. He knows they're around, but it's something that he can say for certain is right here.
We need to dig deeper. JP and I are going to execute the evaluation of Hotel Eden to see if it's suitable to hide a high-value target. JP goes low, trying to find some tunnels, some safe rooms. I'm going high. I'm thinking about security measures. And that up there, I think, is the highest peak in the area. You know, this is up there. We're between them both. Having those elevated positions behind you is not ideal. I could sit up on top of there with my 338 Lapua. I could shut this hotel down. Nobody could come out this side, nobody could come up that side, nobody could walk around that corner. I'd own 3 corners of this hotel. That's easy pickings for a good shooter.
This is the most luxurious hotel in Argentina at that period. Built 1897 and then bought by the Icons in 1912. That was the year the Titanic went down, but they decided that this would become as luxurious as that great liner was. The Icons themselves didn't live on site. They lived in a house over there, which obviously isn't very far, but that's where they lived when they were in La Falda. The Icons weren't your regular run-of-the-mill Nazis. Something like 3 million Reichsmarks comes out of this place and goes to Nazi Germany. During the 30s, this is the meeting place in Cordoba for the Nazis.
This is by far the nicest room I've found in the hotel. The presidential suite is really the only room suitable to put a guy with a clout like Hitler. It's a super vulnerable room. Even though we're on the top floor, it's essentially as if we have ground access because anybody can crawl from the ground up onto this building and walk along this roof right into this door right here. The entire hillside can see me right here. This has a lot of problems.
در زیرزمین JP سرداب شراب زیرزمینی هتل را کاوش می‌کند.
It's interesting. See how the bricks go up to here, then you come to this side. Now you got bricks all the way to the top. And look, they're not even there correctly. Somebody just slapped them there just to cover whatever was back there. The sidewall here, it looks like it continues going, but it's been blocked. Somebody put a wall back there, and you can tell that that right there is being added in. We can see here signs of what it could be a secret passage back there. Bricks don't match the other bricks. The sidewall looks like it continues to go further back. So maybe somebody decided to seal the entrance for the tunnel system. Wine cellar, perfect location to hide the fact that a tunnel system was even there.
I don't like the Hotel Eden. I mean, there's no sense in putting somebody like Hitler in this hotel.
بابر، کارشناس CIA و جان سنسج، محقق جنایات جنگی، یافته‌های گروه را در لافالدا در آرژانتین مرور می‌کنند. بنابر مدارک افشا شده FBI، ممکن است هیتلر با 2 تن از نزدیکترین همدستانش آیدا و والتر آیکهورن در هتل مجللشان ایدن تماس برقرار کرده باشد.
You got staff. It's a public place. You've got presumably guests. Was it closed down while he was there? And that doesn't make sense. Would you no, it doesn't fit.
He's an easy target. What I see as problematic is that if he is exposed to these other people, that's going to cause chatter. And that information is going to get back to the United States, Germany, Nazi hunters. So that's the biggest threat.
Yeah.
But there is one lead that we're still pursuing, that there's a possible underground tunnel that goes from the Hotel Eden to another location. I'm arranging to get the ground penetrating radar, the GPR, out. Perhaps we can find what this is. Is this an underground tunnel where someone could have gone into the hotel, they could have gone underground, moved to a more secure location and stayed there for any number of days?
Yeah. Everything I've seen, the Nazis like to bury. And let's see what they buried here.
تیم که به رادار پیشرفت مجهز است زمین را به دنبال نشانه‌ای برای گذرگاهی مخفی می‌کاود که ممکن است از سرداب شراب مسدود شده هتل به بیرون راه داشته باشد.
If we find evidence that there were tunnels here, that really bolsters the idea that Hitler could operate out of this hotel.
GPR با ارسال پارسی از انرژی به زمین و ضبط قدرت و زمان حرکت پیام‌های بازتابی از اشیایی که تا 9 متر زیر سطح زمین قرار دارد تصویری از آنها ارائه می‌دهد.
Weird. Obvious disturbance. This anomaly goes to 8.39 feet underneath ground, so it's deep. The GPR doesn't tell us what's underneath the ground. It just tells us that there's something different. When everything is the same and something is different, something happened there.
تیم به اسکن کردن 2 هکتار زمین در اطراف هتل ادامه می‌دهد.
The icons and Hitler seem to be very close. In the letters he wrote to them, he calls them my dear friends.
و جرارد و جی پی ارتباط آیک هورن و هیتلر را به همراه اریل متخصص محلی تاریخچه هتل عمیق‌تر می‌کاوند.
Did Hitler ever come here to the Hotel Eden?
Que nosotros sepamos, no. Acá el hotel físicamente, en el hotel, no.
Here in the hotel physically, no, but yes, in the areas around it.
And do you know when and where did he stay?
One of the times is when allegedly he was dead.
Esa fue la casa de Ida y Walter.
So that's the family house, the Eichhorn family house.
Esa es la casa de la familia de los Icons.
Exacto.
تنها در فاصله 150 متری از هتل جایی قرار دارد که زمانی خانه شخصی خانواده آیک هورن بود.
Are there any witnesses still alive who remember seeing Hitler at the time?
Catalina Gamero is the one the only witness really that says that she used to go and live the food right by the door. And she asked the driver, hey, who's the person in the room? He told her that it was Hitler, but she needs to stay quiet.
Incredible, incredible. Is Catalina still alive?
She's in bad health, but she is alive.
The main eyewitness to Adolf Hitler's presence here is a lady called Catalina Gamero, who is not very well, and we're not going to push her because she's an old lady. But I really want to meet the person who saw Hitler in La Falda. Hi there, I'm here to interview Catalina.
Permiso, señora.
Signor Gamero, mucho gusto. Soy Gerardo. In Argentina, people will not talk about this story even 70 years on because they're still scared. So to actually get an eyewitness is quite something. Can you remember how long Hitler stayed in La Falda?
¿Usted se acuerda más o menos cuánto tiempo estuvo Hitler?
Como 9, 10.
9, 10 días? Between 9 and 10 days.
Okay. When did Hitler come to La Falda?
He'd been here after the Second World War, and he stayed at the Acorns family.
At the family house. When Hitler stayed at the house in La Falda, what do you remember?
She knows that he was there because she used to take the breakfast.
Do we know what happened to Hitler after he left the Acorn house?
After he left Acorn's house here in La Falda, he spent a couple of weeks in a castillo.
In a little castle?
The Mandel Castle?
Was Signor Mandel a friend of Walter and Ida?
Sí, él siempre estuvo acá.
Yeah, apparently.
Okay. Well, what she's told us is that Hitler came to stay here at the Falda, not at Hotel Eden, but in the Icon's private property, which is right next to the hotel. It's confirmation from a real human being that Adolf Hitler didn't die in the bunker in 1945. The interesting thing to me, and it always has been, is that the witnesses I've interviewed have never wanted any money. They simply want to get it off their chest. And they're all dying. They're all in their 90s. And that's something that we have to take into account. Why would a woman of this age, a normal mum who's got grandkids and everything else, why would she tell lies?
در آن سوی شهر جی پی سعی دارد به خانه‌ای دسترسی پیدا کند که زمانی متعلق به خانواده آیکهورن بود.
Esta es propiedad privada. Con permiso, señor. ¿Podría hablar con usted un momento? Váyanse, si no llamo a la policía.
اما مالک فعلی روی خوش به او نشان نمیدهد.
Nazis, you know, that subject is off limits.
در هتل ایدن تیم اسکن 2 هکتار زمین را در جستجوی سازه‌ای زیرزمینی که امکان دسترسی به سرداب شراب هتل را فراهم می‌کند به پایان می‌برد.
You're just marking anomalies, not really seeing what's going on until you take a step back and look at kind of the picture that you've painted, just stroke after stroke, and you see stuff like this. This is very dense, and this isn't a perfect line. Really suspicious. It's like a runway straight up towards the Eichhorn's house. That's not random. That's not an accident. I have to know exactly what it is down there.
These anomalies appear to run in a straight line from the Eichhorn residence all the way 500 feet to the Hotel Eden.
باب و جان نتایج اسکن رادار نفوذ به زمین را که احتمال وجود یک گذرگاه مخفی را در میان هتل ایدن و خانه شخصی همدستان شناخته شده نازی خانواده آیکهورن نشان می‌دهد بررسی می‌کنند.
This could be a way to hide somebody who may have come into the hotel and then taken to the residence.
What other explanations could there be for a tunnel? You and I don't build tunnels outside of our houses under the ground across to the neighbor's place. It's suspicious. Now, suddenly, the Eden Hotel is making a lot more sense. Hitler is trying to reattach himself to German colonies in Argentina. He's got to get out and meet people.
So this gives him the ability to go back and forth, not to be seen.
Well, who was he meeting? I mean, it must have been somebody fairly important.
Well, we do have the eyewitness, Catalina.
Did Hitler stay elsewhere in Cordoba?
He spent a couple of weeks in a castillo, the Mandelkastel.
She tells us that Hitler had met with another known Nazi associate by the name of Fritz Mandl.
Fritz Mandl, who was he? He's in some files, right?
He certainly is. So here we have a 1944 FBI document, and it talks about Fritz Mandl being a former Austrian munitions king who recently converted his bicycle factories into an Argentine plant for manufacturing of munitions.
He's an arms dealer.
Absolutely. There's another file. In 1944, Mandl and his business combine were blacklisted by the United States as being associated with Axis economic interests.
This paints a picture of a man who's trying to set up an army in Argentina, a Nazi army. These are real documents, real evidence, and here we have Hitler meeting with him.
It's quite interesting because, you know, the whole notion of Hitler escaping is one thing, but what was he going to do after he escaped? If he's going to lay low and just hide out for the rest of his life? But when you look at these documents, it looks like there is a plot that's much more nefarious.
Well, absolutely. He was planning something. He wanted to reestablish himself. I think it's quite clear. Hitler was not going to give up. If he didn't commit suicide, he didn't disappear over the horizon and die quietly. I just don't think that man would die quietly. As fantastical as it is, I think he would have tried to rebuild his political base. And where else in the world was there a political base except in Argentina?
There is evidence, historically, of preparation for a Fourth Reich. And I can say that as a criminal investigator. I'm not going into the realm of conjecture. But here we have a declassified document that goes back to 7th of November 1944. The source of this information is believed to be a French spy who had infiltrated a meeting. It states here, from now on, German industry must realize that the war cannot be won. German industrialists must, through their exports, prepare themselves to finance the Nazi Party, which would be forced to go underground. These bureaus will receive plans and drawings of new weapons which must not be allowed to fall into the hands of the enemy.
It completely fits in with what was happening in Argentina. The factories, Nazis, and making advanced weapons.
We're talking about a maniacal man who's driven by power. There's some credibility to these documents. He may very well be pursuing this Fourth Reich.
The Eichhorns, lots of money. We got Fritz Mandel, a munitions king. We find a tunnel and we're a lot closer to the truth.
Let's get heavy machinery out there. Let's find out whether or not this is a tunnel, and let's keep digging into Mandel.
Well, let's do it.
Every job has a tool. Sometimes you need a scalpel, make just precision cuts. Other times you need a gigantic diesel-powered backhoe. We're just gonna be going off this way, kind of to the left, through that gate.
تیم کندی خود را آماده بررسی منطقه‌ای می‌کند که رادار نفوذ به زمین امکان وجود گذرگاهی زیرزمینی را در آن نشان داده که هتل ایدن را به منزل شخصی آیکهورن مرتبط می‌کند. گروه مجوز بی‌سابقه حفاری در این ناحیه تاریخی را به دست آورده است.
A lot of area to cover. Good. Had to bring in the big guns.
There it is. El Castillo de Mandel.
El Castillo de Mandel.
18 کیلومتر دورتر جرارد و جی پی منزل دلال اسلحه نازی فریتز مندل را جستجو می‌کنند.
His father was the biggest munitions manufacturer in Austria. It has to be a scary thought that the leader of the Third Reich wants to contact one of the major munitions and arms manufacturers in the world. Well, it's quite a property.
Well, black market guns will get you whatever you want.
گروه با فرانسیسکو کاپتوویلا ارتباط برقرار می‌کند.
Francisco, un placer. JP.
او یک مورخ محلی است که درباره زندگی فریتز مندل اطلاعات فراوان دارد.
What can Francisco tell us about how Mandel made his money while he was in Argentina?
¿Qué usted nos puede decir de monetario para Mandel cuando vivía aquí en Argentina?
Fábrica de municiones.
He used to own an ammunition factory.
A munitions factory?
Yeah.
So he was making arms while he was here?
Yes.
What sort of people would he bring here as his guests?
Es decir, prácticamente no han quedado documentación.
One thing that Mandel did is he kept everything a secret. There's no books that says names and last names of visitors or anything like that. Never allowed that. ¿Y rumores?
Rumores siempre.
But there's rumors that a lot of the Nazi power players were actually here at some point.
Fritz Mandel had a munitions factory here in Cordoba. I can't look into Hitler's head and think maybe he wants to start a Fourth Reich. But it's a scary concept. There are reasons the guys are going to want to meet.
The depths are perfect for where you'd want a tunnel, 6 feet under the surface.
تیم جرارد و جی پی خود را آماده حفر زمین در ناحیه‌ای می‌کنند که جی پی آر در آن احتمال وجود یک تونل مخفی را نشان داده است.
We're in the back quarter of the gardens of the Eden Hotel. The flags seem to point in a line directly towards properties owned by the Eichhorn family. And as we know, the Eichhorns were not run-of-the-mill Nazis. These were important people.
گزارشات FBI نشان می‌دهد خانواده آیخورن که صاحبان ثروتمند هتل ایدن بودند می‌توانستند در صورت حضور هیتلر در این ناحیه از آرژانتین به او کمک کنند. گروه فکر می‌کند اگر تونل زیر هتل وجود داشته باشد می‌توانست ملاقات‌های سری میان هیتلر و فریتز مندل سلطان صنعت اسلحه سازی با گرایشات نازی در این منطقه را تسهیل کند.
This is the epicenter for Nazism in the entire region. If Hitler had dreams or aspirations of rising back to power, this is the place to do it.
Buddy.
If we find evidence that there were tunnels here, that might put a little bit of truth to that.
This is the spot. And we know it's 6 feet down. So we dig down 3 feet.
See if we find anything.
Yep, take some shovels, start snooping. Don't find anything. Go down another foot and continue.
As soon as that bucket started making that hole, I am pumped up. We're the first ones to break ground on this historical site. There's people that have been talking about these tunnels for decades. If there are tunnels out here, we are gonna find them. Go deep, baby, go deep.
That's about 3 feet right there.
Yeah.
We're digging, we're digging. There's a lot of anxiety about finding anything at all.
I mean, we're down 5 foot in the center now.
Yeah.
Septic just fell in.
Yeah. Páralo ahí un momento. Can you pass me the shovel?
Tim?
Yeah.
That's not rock.
No.
This is plaster.
Let me see it.
Really? Let me see. Oh, no, that's not rock.
No, it's surfaced.
Holy. Looking at the stone, we see it's perfectly smooth, faced plaster. We're 6 feet underground, and we found the first real evidence that there's something here. It's crazy. Oh, you can see it right there.
The size of that bit. This is man-made.
We're on a cold case that nobody's had an opportunity to explore, and here we are, breaking ground and finding significant forensic evidence that there are hidden tunnels under Hotel Eden.
گروه در جستجوی مدارک بیشتر از وجود تونل، عمق بیشتری از زمین را می‌کاود.
So we're now down about 8 feet, aren't we?
Bucket goes down again. Keeps hitting something big right there. And then we start finding these gigantic rocks.
Now that right there.
That was cut and shaped.
That is cut and shaped, yep.
The other one.
Another
yeah,
one.
they're not naturally occurring.
No.
These are
Look at this.
stonemasons' work.
Oh, wow.
And we're finding tons of man-made, chiseled shaped rock. And rectangular, and they're all stacked right on top of each other, like a wall or a side of the cave.
این یافته نشان می‌دهد تونل از سنگ‌های مثلثی بزرگتری ساخته شده و آن را با گچ روکش کرده بودند. به احتمال زیاد این سازه فرو ریخته و باعث شده سنگ‌ها پراکنده شوند و گچ به مرور زمان و تحت تاثیر عناصر دیگر از میان برود.
Tim?
Yeah.
They're all coming out in a line with those flags.
Yeah, exactly.
With the what?
Those flags
Those
that you got
flags
going that way.
You marked anomalies on earlier.
Look up, right there. Look at those flags.
You're right.
Holy. Knowing that the Icorn's house is straight up the hill in line with where we're digging, you know, it's like, come on, this is unreal.
Well, this is great. The forensic examination of this suspected tunnel has shown that that's what it was, a tunnel.
What else could it be? You've got plaster, you've got chiseled rock.
باب و جان یافته‌های محل هتل ایدن در لافالدای آرژانتین را مرور می‌کنند. گزارشات افشا شده خبر می‌دهند هیتلر در آنجا همدستان مهمی داشته که ممکن است ماه‌ها بعد از به اصطلاح مرگش با آنها دیدار کرده باشد.
This substantiates the whole idea that Hitler would be here meeting in the Eden Hotel and staying at the Eichhorn house. You've got a Nazi arms manufacturer, you've got a secret tunnel all in the same area, and we have FBI reports putting Hitler at the Eden Hotel. You know, we put all these pieces together, and, you know, good explanation is the Hotel Eden is where he started to consider starting the Fourth Reich. He brings these people together at La Falda, gives them orders, reassures people he's still ahead of this, and while they're putting their plans together, he disappears in the jungle. If you want to hide out while things are coming together, go to Misiones.
We have dozens upon dozens of sightings of Hitler throughout 1945. But then everything goes cold. He seems to drop off the face of the earth.
Is not a coincidence.
با توجه به این نظریه که هیتلر در هتل ایدن برای آیندهش نقشه کشیده و سپس برای مدتی طولانی به مخفیگاهش در دل جنگل در میسیونز عقب نشسته، باب و جان گزارشات را به دنبال نشانه از زمان و مکان احتمال ظهور مجدد وی از انزوا جستجو می‌کنند.
Oh, here's one dated July 9th, 1947, referring to a casino, a town in Brazil that's about 500 miles from Misiones. The source of this information is a French secret agent. He goes on to relate the following. There was to be held at the Grand Hotel of Casino a ballet, and was to be given at 3 performances in successive evenings, and then to go on and describe how he recognized a certain individual. One man was definitely Hitler. 1947 comes along, and all of a sudden, back on the radar. The sighting of Hitler occurred during the first alleged performance.
He's back. Question is, what's he up to?
One thing of unusual interest, he reported that he had seen a large radio station near the hotel, and that the station was peculiar in that the antenna, which was quite lengthy, was parallel to the ground instead of perpendicular. For my area of expertise, if it is parallel to the ground rather than vertical, there's actually better gain. That indicates you certainly could communicate to many places all over the world.
What it does is put Hitler back on the scene in 47, and you have what appears to be a military-like transmitter. If Hitler were going to re-enter the world scene, he would need communications. You cannot start the Fourth Reich without communication. We've got some meat here. On the face of it, Hitler at the ballet makes no sense at all. But the source provided details which our team can check out.
Was this hotel in existence? Did these ballet performances take place?
If we can confirm it, it will give a substance to this report.
Let's get the team into Brazil.
Brazil it is.
This is the longest beach in the world, right?
Yeah, 150 miles.
تیم کندی و جرارد ویلیامز در جستجوی مدارکی در تایید گزارشات FBI به شهر ساحلی دورافتاده کاسینو در برزیل می‌روند. مترجم آنها خوزه کاسمیروی برزیلی آنها را همراهی می‌کند.
We're looking for a hotel called Hotel Casino.
There's no hotel with this name here in this city, but there is another hotel, the name is Atlantico, the oldest but biggest hotel that we have.
Maybe this name's been changed at some stage. The FBI files in this case are very specific. We're looking for a hotel that's big enough to have its own ballroom and a stage that's big enough to produce even a small ballet. There can't be that many of them here. Let's do it, yep.
Hello.
Hello.
Oi,
Alessandra, tudo
bem? Eu sou Casimiro.
گروه با آلساندرا فرانینا متصدی اتلانتیکو و کارشناس بزرگترین هتل کاسینو ارتباط برقرار می‌کند.
I'm confused about the hotel name. It's Hotel Atlantico now, right?
Here in Casino, it's the hotel. I want to go to the hotel because it's the bigger and the oldest.
Only hotel.
Yes.
1947. If somebody said Hotel Casino, there is no way they could be talking about any other hotel.
Yes, Casino Hotel, for sure.
Okay.
And the guests were very rich. No, just from cities around.
Okay.
The commuter planes came from everywhere.
Would these be mainly Portuguese people?
German families were here after Second War.
In 1947, there was a major population of post-World War II German refugees here. What sort of refugees, we don't know. But if they fled Germany and they're living in Brazil, these are guys who don't want to be found in Germany under the Allies. Did this hotel have a ballroom?
Yes, in my research, I discovered some old pictures that show this saloon.
Salon. Yeah.
Yes, probably where we have the swimming pool.
Well, just behind us?
Yes.
Okay.
Do you know where some of those pictures are that we could see?
Pictures, yes, of course.
آلساندرا آنها را به اتاق غذاخوری هدایت می‌کند که تصاویر قدیمی هتل را در آنجا به نمایش گذاشته است.
It's very, 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 very nice. It's like chic, posh.
There's money in there. What's that?
It's a stage.
That's a stage. This is the salon here?
Yes.
That's easily 200 people.
Yeah.
Been here a few hours, and we have a significant informant that is conclusively corroborating that there was a hotel here. It was called Hotel Casino, and it had a ballroom. And it is the exclusive and most prestigious hotel, not only in the city, but pretty much in the entire region. This is getting good.
This place is convenient because it's away from everything.
It's very convenient for the people we think who came here in 1947.
We have a bank, so we have our stuff here.
So this is the
Yes,
center.
the center.
Yeah.
جرارد ویلیامز، تیم کندی و مترجمشان به شهر کوچک کاسینو در برزیل می‌روند. جایی که بر مبنای یک گزارش FBI هیتلر سالها بعد از اعلام مرگش در یک مراسم باله در هتل محلی شرکت کرده که به تجهیزات ارتباطی پیشرفته بسیار نزدیک است.
Let's go by this way.
گروه بعد از اطمینان از اینکه هتل آتلانتیکو در آن زمان وجود داشته و سالن رقصی مشابه آنچه در گزارشات FBI آمده داشته، به آرشیوهای شهر سر می‌زنند تا مطمئن شوند مراسم 3 شبه باله به واقع اتفاق افتاده است.
This is gorgeous.
Getting access to archives of an event or something which puts you in that place at that time is incredibly important. We know the ballet happened at a hotel, which had a ballroom. An event like that doesn't go unnoticed. So an event like that is likely to be reported in the social pages of a newspaper.
How many big social events like that were there in Casino, right? Not very many. It doesn't seem like they'd have huge ballets.
If there is information which tells us accurately that this performance happened here, then the reliability of that FBI report goes up, in my mind, astronomically.
So, January 1947, what are we looking for date-wise?
Hoover gets this report on his desk in June 1947. So I think it probably refers to sometime between February and March. So February, March 1947.
Hotel Atlântico Casino.
They're holding dances, and you can get in there for 5 Cruzeiro.
This is a daily advertisement. The Hotel Atlantico.
Most important places to go socially around here.
They're almost on every single page. Thumbing through one newspaper, and page after page after page, we're seeing it talking about events, but not anything specific. All we see is advertisements. Stick with this one. We'll go grab the other one.
Sure.
You just keep thumbing through.
Yeah.
I got a different newspaper from 1947. So I have the Gazette. This one has a bunch of advertisements in it as well.
Okay.
I'm at 1 February. Socials.
I have nothing.
I have something right here.
Where?
I have a beautiful girl dancing.
Yeah, it's definitely it. Yeah, it's a ballet dancer.
Can't miss her.
Yeah.
What does this say?
Tomorrow, Hotel Atlantic and Casino, stars of the world in ballet.
This is real. Right on the front page, we see a picture of this ballerina. There's an advertisement for it.
Stars of the world ballet in the Hotel Atlantico Casino. Dates 6 and 7 February.
It's the exact date range that the FBI files said that there'd be a ballet.
That's incredible.
Turning a page and seeing in black and white the exact words that are in an FBI file takes your breath away for a second.
Does it say how many nights?
2 nights.
Okay. The problem is it talks about 2 nights. Okay, open to the public, you can buy tickets. The FBI guy talks about 3 nights. Doesn't make any mention of it being ticketed. The FBI report is pretty serious about there being 3 performances, and it's the first night of those 3 performances that the file says Hitler and Eva are in the audience. So, it doesn't quite fit.
At a lot of ballets, you have the private events.
High ticket.
Yes, those are very prestigious. I'm going into a closed door performance. Yeah. There's going to be nobody there besides the select invitees. So we know that this is happening
6th and 7th of February.
6th and 7th. So what happened on the 5th?
Yeah.
See if there's a review or a summary. What is this?
It's French poetry. He says the enchanting ballet of such pure beauty, a light array of elegance.
آنها گزارش از مراسم باله را به شکل شعر می‌یابند که پیر دومون، یک منتقد رقص مشهور فرانسوی، آن را نوشته است.
How do we know that he was there, and how do we know that he wrote this poem because he saw the ballet?
He names the ballet dancer here, the prima ballerina, Leskova.
Leskova.
So 6th and 7th was the ballet?
Yeah, but he wrote this poem on the 5th of February, after a performance he had seen on the 5th, not a performance on the 6th or the 7th. And that's the performance the informant saw Hitler at. We've found archive proof that a ballet took place here in February 1947. This is for invite only. These are for people who need to be there. I can't step inside the mind of Adolf Hitler that day when he was sitting at a table
watching a ballet surrounded by important, wealthy people. If I just ruled the whole of Europe and just lost militarily, I doubt whether he's thinking, gosh, that's a lovely prima ballerina. He's thinking, who amongst these people can I be talking to? Who amongst these people may be able to help us get back?
Just amazing. I'm actually quite blown away.
Doesn't feel like a coincidence to me.
He was here.
و آنچه که در قسمت بعد می‌بینید.
This is a hotbed of Nazis in Casino. It's the right kind of environment that Hitler would look for.
This FBI document, it's almost like a treasure map, giving us step after step and which way to turn.
Right here, this house right here. What can you tell us about the people that owned it?
Achavam que ele era nazista.
According to the report, Hitler's moving north.
Once they landed in Bogota, Colombia, the pilots burned the planes and the remains were submerged in the nearby marsh.
We're at the end of the story here. We find this airplane, we're going to be making history.
That is something we're definitely going to dive on. Look at that. Might be the frame of a wing.
Holy crap.